Hey guys, this is RolloutReviews with RolloutReviews, bringing you another Big Hero 6 toy review. This time it is GoGo Tomago. Now this is the Disney Store exclusive version of this figure, and basically what that means is it has a more premium paint job. It also has a different style of packaging, however the packaging is exactly the same on all of these figures. If you want to see what that looks like, either do a Google search or check out my Hero Hamada review. I will try and review this figure without any biases, but it's not going to be easy. I haven't even seen the movie yet, and GoGo Tomago is my favorite character. I love her color scheme, I love her design, I love her personality, and I love the way she functions as a hero. She's got throwing discs and wheel feet, and she's all about speed. Super, super cool, right up my alley. So, all of that said, let's see how the figure is. The Disney Store exclusive has a shiny yellow paint job, whereas the normal release is sort of a flat yellow, and I think this is definitely one that's worth getting for this alone. It's definitely not necessary, but it adds a little bit of flair that I think is absolutely welcome. Now, the face sculpt is alright, but you'll notice she is missing the visor on her helmet. This was a similar problem, if you could even call it that, that Hero had. I think GoGo Tomago and Hero don't suffer from it too much because, well, their visors are clear and they cover their whole face. But on some of the other figures, the lack of visor can make them look a little bit strange. But the face sculpt is alright, the eyes look fine. It's got little dots of red there, or is that orange? Might be orange. Her discs on her arms, the pinpoint lines on the black undersuit, and little tiny feet that she has a grand old time trying to stand on, especially when you add in the wheels. Now, she comes with 4 discs, 2 of them for her arms and 2 of them for her legs. They just clip on like this. They're made out of kind of a rubbery plastic, and the clip is a harder plastic that pegs through the center. These are super cool, but her hands are molded as fists, so she can't hold them. The best you can do is pop them on and use them as kind of shields, which is cool in its own right, but I do wish that you could do more with them. Before we go into the wheel feet, let's take a look at her articulation. She's got a ball joint in the head, which has much more range than some of the other figures in the line, which is not saying a whole lot, but you know, you can get a lot more out of it than some of the others. The arms are on universal joints. They go forward and back and in and out. The elbow bends about that far and is on a little rotation above the joint. No waist articulation once again. There's definitely enough space to have made one, but I don't know, for some reason they didn't. Probably budget restraints. The legs, they go in and out. Forward and back, you kind of have to fight against the mold to get it any further forward than this, but it can be done. And back, you kind of have to do the same thing. It's very tight there to, you know, retain her figure, but I don't know. I feel like there could have been more articulation there. The knee bends 90 degrees and once again rotates, and that is your lot. She's built very, very similarly to Hero, but she has a much more slim build. That said, she's a lot better than Honey Lemon as far as the female figures go with her articulation above and beyond. You can do a whole lot with it, and once again, while this might be lacking for some collectors, it's definitely adequate for most kids out there. Now, the wheel feet. They function exactly the same as the discs on her arms. They have the little clip, and they're made out of a rubbery plastic. They are slightly bigger, though. Now, they clip onto her ankles like this. And you'll notice, if I can get this one on here, that they extend past the feet. That is accurate to the movie, but they also don't have some voodoo black magic gyro technology in them like they do in the movie, and obviously she's unable to stand like this. Now, you are able to get her to stand with the feet positioned in kind of an action pose. That is possible. You can work with this rotation here and get her in kind of a running pose or something similar, but it's impossible to just have her stand there with these attached. If you want her in kind of an idle position, you're going to have to skip those. But honestly, that's really my only problem with this figure. Again, there is some bias involved there, but I think she looks fantastic and definitely is one of the most dynamic of the group, which I suppose fits her character. Overall, I can recommend this figure out of the bunch. This is a great one. There's a lot of play value there with the addition of the discs. You can remove them, you can throw them around. Kids are gonna love this, collectors are gonna love this. Once again, crossing my fingers for a larger scale figure later along the line, just like Baymax, but until then, this is more than enough, and I can recommend going out and getting the Disney Store exclusive version because I do think it looks better. Anyway, that is about it, guys, and this is IX Roll It IX, signing off.